Does anyone care? Does anybody notice when I'm barely hanging on? When the smile disappears the second everybody's gone. Does anyone care? Or am I shouting into space, trying to find a little comfort in an unfamiliar place? I keep asking myself, would it matter if I disappeared? Would anybody notice all the pain I've carried for years? Does anyone care? I've been carrying this weight for so long that it feels normal, smiling in public while my thoughts are getting horrible. Everybody sees the surface, nobody sees below. Nobody sees the battles that I never let them know. I got people all around me, but I still feel alone, like I'm talking to a crowd through a disconnected phone. Every cry for help gets buried underneath a joke, and every time I try to open up I feel the words choke. Maybe that's my fault, maybe I built these walls too high. Maybe I've been saying I'm okay 1,000 times. Maybe people would have listened if I told the truth instead. But it's hard to ask for help when you're trapped inside your head. So I keep moving through the days, pretending everything's alright, even though I'm fighting myself almost every night, wondering if anybody notices the change, or if I'm just another face that fades away. Does anyone care? Does anybody notice when I'm barely hanging on? When the smile disappears the second everybody's gone. Does anyone care? Or am I shouting into space, trying to find a little comfort in an unfamiliar place? I keep asking myself, would it matter if I disappeared? Would anybody notice all the pain I've carried for years? Does anyone care? I don't need 100 people telling me they'll understand. I just need somebody willing to sit and listen for a minute. Somebody who won't judge me for the things inside my mind. Somebody who won't leave the second things hard with time. Because everybody loves the version that appears okay. The version that can laugh and keep the darkness locked away. But what about the nights when I don't recognize my face? What about the moments when my hope begins to break? I've spent years trying to be everything for everyone, while slowly losing pieces of myself one by one. And now I'm looking in the mirror asking who I've become, trying to find a reason to keep pushing forward. Maybe that's why this question never leaves my brain, while it follows me through sunshine and through rain. Because deep down every person wants the same thing, to know they matter. Does anyone care? Does anybody notice when I'm barely hanging on? When the smile disappears the second everybody's gone? Does anyone care? Or am I shouting into space, trying to find a little comfort in an unfamiliar place? I keep asking myself, would it matter if I disappeared? Would anybody notice all the pain I've carried for years? Does anyone care? Maybe somebody does. Maybe I just can't see it yet. But until then the question remains, does anyone care?
Anabolic beats.
I've been talking to the walls because they never interrupt. Never tell me that I'm overthinking. Never tell me to shut up. Never change the subject when the conversation gets real. Never make me feel guilty for the way I actually feel. Everybody says they're here if I ever need to talk. But when I finally open up, they seem to walk. Maybe not physically, maybe it's just the look. The one that they as they're uncomfortable the second I open the book of everything I've been carrying beneath the surface. All the doubts, all the fears, all the times I felt worthless. It's funny how people love honesty until it gets too honest. Then suddenly they disappear like they never made a promise. So I keep everything inside until it starts overflowing. Try to act like I'm okay when deep down I'm barely coping. And every day I ask myself the same damn thing. If I spoke from the heart, would anybody hear me? Is anyone listening, or am I wasting all these words talking into silence, hoping somehow I'll be heard? Is anyone listening? Can anybody hear the cracks behind the smile, behind the jokes, behind the act? I'm not asking for perfection, I'm not asking to be safe. I just want to know my voice won't get lost and fade away. Is anyone listening? Sometimes I think the loudest people get the most attention, while the quiet ones are left alone with all their tension. The ones who never ask for help because they're scared to seem weak. The ones who spend their whole lives finding words they cannot speak. I've got 1,000 unfinished conversations in my head, things I wish I had said out loud instead. But fear's a funny thing, it convinces you to hide, even when a part of you is screaming from inside. And maybe nobody realizes what another person's fading. Maybe everyone's too busy with the races they've been racing. Maybe the person standing next to you is barely hanging on, and you'd never know because they've learned to carry on. That's why I'm writing this, that's why I'm putting these thoughts on a page, because somebody out there might relate, and maybe that's enough. Is anyone listening, or am I wasting all these words talking into silence, hoping somehow I'll be heard? Is anyone listening? Can anybody hear the cracks behind the smile, behind the jokes, behind the act? I'm not asking for perfection, I'm not asking to be saved. I just want to know my voice won't get lost and fade away. Is anyone listening? So if you're hearing this while you're alone tonight, wondering if anybody sees you're losing every fight, I hope these words remind you that you're not the only one trying to fake a smile while wishing someone would come. I've learned the strongest people aren't the ones who never break. They're the ones who find the strength to tell the truth they couldn't say. Maybe every scar we hide becomes a bridge instead, connecting hearts through conversations like they were left unsaid. If my voice can help one person make it through the night, then every tear I've cried was worth the chance to write. Maybe being heard was never really up to me. Maybe all I had to do was speak honestly. So I'll keep writing every word that's on my mind, for the people still searching for a little hope to find. And if you're asking the same question that I've asked before, just know you're not the only one anymore. Is anyone listening? Can anyone hear the cracks behind the smile, behind the jokes, behind the act? I'm not asking for perfection, I'm not asking to be safe. I just want to know my voice won't get lost and fade away. Is anyone listening? Can anyone hear the cracks behind the smile, behind the jokes, behind the acts? I'm not asking for perfection, I'm not asking to be saved. I just want to know my voice won't get lost and fade away. Is anyone listening? Maybe someone hears this, maybe someone understands, maybe somebody's asking the same question tonight. Is anyone listening?
Answer on the beat.
How you doing? That's a question I hear every day, and somehow I've perfected finding ways to say I'm good, I'm okay, I can't complain, even when my mind's been standing in the rain. Because telling the truth takes energy I don't have, and explaining what's wrong is a conversation that drags. So I smile, nod my head, keep it moving, while inside I'm wondering what exactly I'm doing. Everybody sees the version that I let them see, the edited edition, not the reality. The version that can laugh, the version that can cope, not the one who's slowly running low on hope. I became an expert at pretending everything's alright, at hiding all my struggles underneath a smile. And after doing it for long enough, even I started believing the lie. I am fine, at least that's what I tell everybody every single time they ask me what's on my mind. I am fine. That's the script I've memorized, the same 2 words I've used 1,000 times. Meanwhile, my thoughts are getting louder, my heart's feeling heavier, and every day it gets a little harder. But if you ask me how I'm doing, I'll probably say I am fine. The crazy thing about masks is they start to fit. Wear one long enough and you forget where it ends. You get so used to acting strong that being honest starts to feel wrong. I've had nights where the silence was deafening, nights where I couldn't stop overthinking everything, nights where sleep felt a million miles away, and tomorrow felt exactly like yesterday. But then morning comes and it's back to the show. Put on a smile and nobody knows. Nobody sees the war behind my eyes. Nobody questions the familiar replies. Maybe part of me wishes somebody would look a little deeper than they normally would. Notice the cracks, notice the strain, notice that fine doesn't always mean the same thing. I am fine. At least that's what I tell everybody every single time they ask what's on my mind. I am fine. That's the script I've memorized, the same 2 words I've used 1,000 times. Meanwhile, my thoughts are getting louder, my heart's feeling heavier, and every day it gets a little harder. But if you ask me how I'm doing, I'll probably say I am fine. Maybe one day I'll stop pretending, maybe one day I'll tell the truth, maybe one day I'm fine will actually be true, but today isn't that day. How you doing? I'm fine. You'd never know it from the smile that I wear. You'd never know it from the jokes that I share. You'd never know it from the way that I speak, because I've gotten really good at looking strong when I'm weak. Every morning I get up and put the mask in place. Another performance, another familiar face. Another day pretending everything's alright. Another day fighting battles nobody sees at night. I laugh at all the right moments, I say that I'm okay, knowing deep inside I'm barely making it through the day. People only see the version that I let them know, never all the hidden weight beneath the calm I show. The cuts are visible, the scars don't show. The damage lives in places most people never go. And honestly, that's the hardest part, watching everybody assume you're okay, because they can't see the war that follows you every day. Some wounds don't leave bruises anyone can find. They settle deep beneath the surface of your mind. You learn to carry them so long they feel like home, and when you're standing in the crowd room alone, it's invisible pain, no broken bones, no bandages, no signs explaining anything. It's invisible pain, the kind that hides behind a smile, the kind that follows you for miles, the kind nobody sees until you're barely standing, and even then, they might not notice. Sometimes I wish people could hear my thoughts just for a minute, just long enough to understand the things I've been carrying with me. Not because I want pity, not because I want attention. I just want somebody to realize how exhausting it gets pretending. Pretending I'm not overwhelmed, pretending I'm not afraid, pretending every crack inside me will somehow fade away. I've become an expert at survival, at making pain look ordinary, at convincing everyone around me that my struggles aren't necessary. Every I'm fine gets easier to say, even when the truth feels farther away. It's strange how silence can become your closest friend when you don't know where honesty might end. Sometimes I wonder if somebody feels the same, hiding their hurt while smiling through the pain, walking past 100 people every single day, wondering if anyone could see beneath the face. But the truth is, some days hurt more than I can explain, and some wounds don't bleed, they ache. It's invisible pain, no broken bones, no bandages, no signs explaining anything. It's invisible pain, the kind that hides behind a smile, the kind that follows you for miles, the kind nobody sees until you're barely standing, and even then, they might not notice. Maybe someone else feels this way too. Maybe someone listening understands. Maybe we're all carrying invisible things and pretending we're okay because that's easier than explaining the hurt. Maybe the strongest people in the room are the ones nobody realizes are struggling. I feel so invisible, like I'm fading into air, like I could disappear tomorrow and nobody would know I was there. I feel so invisible, standing right in front of everybody's eyes, but somehow never getting noticed no matter how hard I try. I don't want to be famous, I don't want to be a star, I just want to know I matter for who I really are. I can stand in a crowded room and still feel alone, surrounded by conversations that don't feel like home. Everybody's laughing, everybody's having fun. Meanwhile, I'm wondering where the hell I belong. It's like I'm standing in the background of my own life, watching everyone else move forward while I'm standing still, trying to figure out what they have that I don't, trying to find confidence that I know I won't. Maybe I'm too quiet, maybe I don't fit in, maybe I've spent so much time hiding, I forgot where to begin. Because every time I try to speak, I second guess every word, and every time I try to reach out, I wonder if I'll even be heard. Maybe I'm standing closer than you know, hoping someone sees beneath the show. I'm reaching out but fear won't let me move. Tell me, would anybody notice if I disappeared from the room? I feel so invisible, like I'm fading into air, like I could disappear tomorrow and nobody would know I was there. I feel so invisible, standing right in front of everybody's eyes, but somehow never getting noticed no matter how hard I try. I don't want to be famous, I don't want to be a star, I just want to know I matter for who I really are. I've watched people walk right past me without ever seeing the pain, without ever knowing the battles that replay inside my brain. And maybe that's not their fault, maybe they're fighting their own wars too. Maybe everybody's carrying something that nobody else can see through. But that doesn't make it easier when the loneliness settles in. When you're sitting with your thoughts and they convince you nobody cares again. I've spent years feeling like a side character in stories that weren't mine. Like everybody else got a purpose while I was left behind. But maybe being invisible isn't the whole truth after all. Maybe I've been hiding so long that I built the walls myself. Maybe somebody sees me, maybe somebody cares, maybe somebody understands what it's like standing here. Maybe I'm not as invisible as my mind wants me to believe, but some days it's hard to see the difference, a room full of people, and somehow I still feel invisible.
Pendo made it.
Lexmore.
Haven't I been enough? I've given everything I had to give. Tried my best to be somebody worth loving. Tried my best to be somebody worth remembering. Haven't I been enough? Why do I keep feeling left behind? Why do I keep questioning my worth? Why does every goodbye make me wonder what's wrong with me? I keep looking for the answer, but it never shows its face. Every road I take somehow leads me to the same place. Wondering what I'm missing, wondering what I lack, wondering why the people I care about never seem to stay intact. Maybe I talk too much, maybe I don't talk enough, maybe I'm too emotional, maybe I'm not strong enough. I spent years trying to be what everybody needs, changing pieces of myself just to earn a little peace, trying to fit expectations that were never really mine, losing who I was a little more every single time. I kept saying yes when I really needed no, thinking that's the only way relationships would grow, putting everybody first until there was nothing left of me, wondering why I couldn't become the person I wanted to be. Every mirror asks another question I can't solve. Every chapter leaves another piece of me involved. I'm tired of measuring my worth by who's still around. Like love is something earned instead of something found. And now I'm sitting here exhausted from the chase, asking questions that nobody else can answer anyway. Trying to find my value through somebody else's eyes. Then maybe that's the reason I keep feeling left behind. Haven't I been enough? I've given everything I had to give. Try my best to be somebody worth loving. Try my best to be somebody worth remembering. Haven't I been enough? Why do I keep feeling left behind? Why do I keep questioning my worth? Why does every goodbye make me wonder what's wrong with me? The hardest battles aren't the ones you fight out loud, they're the conversations in your head when nobody's around. The voice that picks apart every mistake you've ever made, the ones that turn every cloudy day into a hurricane. It tells me I should have done better, should have been smarter, should have been stronger, should have worked harder. It keeps a list of every failures, every missed opportunity, every person who walked away, and every insecurity. It reminds me of the nights I couldn't get things right, makes every little setback feel 10 times as high. It finds the smallest cracks and turns them into walls, convincing me I'm always the reason everything falls. Every compliment somehow turns into a question mark, like maybe they just don't know the real me in the dark. I celebrate my victories for only just a while, before the voice reminds me of another missed mile. It's always moving goalpost, never letting me believe that maybe I've accomplished more than I can even see. Some nights I believe every word it says, like maybe all the problems start and end inside my head. Like maybe if I were different, life would finally make sense. But then I stop and think about the road I've walked before, about every time I thought I couldn't take one more step, and somehow I'm still standing even after all the pain. Maybe strength isn't perfection, maybe it's trying again, maybe that's the lie, maybe being enough was never the problem. Haven't I been enough? I've given everything I had to give. Try my best to be somebody worth loving. Try my best to be somebody worth remembering. Haven't I been enough? Why do I keep feeling left behind? Why do I keep questioning my worth? Why does every goodbye make me wonder what's wrong with me? Maybe not everybody leaves because of me. Maybe not every ending means I fail. Maybe my value isn't determined by who stays or who goes. Maybe I've been enough all along. I'm waiting for a reason to keep moving forward, a reason to believe these scars aren't meaningless, a reason to think tomorrow might be different. I'm waiting for a reason, something bigger than the pain, something stronger than the doubt, something worth holding on to, because right now, I feel lost. Every morning feels the same when you don't know where you're going. Just another day of moving without really growing. Watching hours turn to days and days turn into years. Trying to find a purpose somewhere underneath the fear. I've been looking for a sign, something bigger than myself. Something that could explain why I've been feeling this way. Because lately every step feels heavy. Every goal feels out of reach. Every answer I thought I had feels impossible to keep. I keep asking questions to a sky that never speaks. Trying to find a little hope when I feel weak. Trying to find a reason to believe that this life has something planned for me. I'm waiting for a reason to keep moving forward, a reason to believe these scars aren't meaningless, a reason to think tomorrow might be different. I'm waiting for a reason, something bigger than the pain, something stronger than the doubt, something worth holding on to, because right now, I feel lost. Maybe the reason isn't something that I find. Maybe it's something that I build over time. Maybe purpose doesn't arrive all at once. Maybe it's hidden in the journey we've become. I thought about the people who believed in me, the ones who stayed when I couldn't see, the ones who reminded me who I was when I forgot the person I'd become. Maybe the reason is still out there waiting. Maybe it's slowly taking shape while I'm hesitating. Maybe every struggle I've survived so far is preparing me for who I'm meant to be tomorrow. And maybe that's enough for now, not certainty, not answers, just a possibility. I'm waiting for a reason to keep moving forward, a reason to believe these scars aren't meaningless, a reason to think tomorrow might be different. I'm waiting for a reason, something bigger than the pain, something stronger than the doubt, something worth holding on to, because right now, I feel lost. Maybe I don't need all the answers tonight. Maybe I just need one more sunrise, one more chance, one more step, one more reason to not quit yet. Maybe the reason hasn't found me yet, but I'm still here waiting, and maybe that's the reason by itself.
Sleepless Beats.
Every time something falls apart, I look at me first, like somehow I'm the reason everything gets worse. Every goodbye, every failure, every broken plan feels like another piece of evidence that I don't understand. I replay conversations that happened months ago, searching for the moment where I should have let it go, wondering if one different road could have changed the outcome, wondering if all these regrets would have never come. It's exhausting carrying this weight of every mistake, treating every bad thing like it's mine to take, like I'm responsible for every storm that rolls through, even when deep down I know that isn't true. But guilt has a funny way of rewriting history, turning every memory into a mystery where somehow I'm always the villain in the end, even when I'm just a person trying to mend. I blame myself for the things I couldn't control, for people walking away, for the damage done to my soul. I blame myself for every crack in the glass, for every bridge that collapsed, for every shadow from the past. Maybe I'm tired of carrying this weight, maybe I'm tired of the shame, but every time something goes wrong, I still blame myself. Sometimes I think I've become my own worst enemy, holding myself hostage with old memories, punishing myself for things I can't undo, as if suffering somehow makes the past less true. I've spent years collecting reasons to feel guilty, building a case against myself so convincingly that I stopped questioning whether it was fair and just accepted that the blame belonged there. But maybe not everything is mine to carry, maybe not every scar was my responsibility, maybe life was messier than simple right and wrong. Maybe I've been blaming myself for way too long, because people leave for reasons that aren't always about me, and sometimes things fall apart despite what I believe in. Maybe healing starts when I finally admit I don't deserve every ounce of this guilt. I blame myself for the things I couldn't control, for people walking away, for the damage done to my soul. I blame myself for every crack in the glass, for every bridge that collapsed, for every shadow from the past. Maybe I'm tired of carrying this weight, maybe I'm tired of the shame, but every time something goes wrong, I still blame myself. Maybe I was wrong, maybe not everything was my fault, maybe I've been carrying burdens that never belonged to me at all. One day I hope I learn the difference between taking responsibility and blaming myself for everything.
Sleepless Beats.
I spent too many nights staring into the dark, letting fear convince me I was falling apart, listening to every doubt that lived inside my brain, giving power to the things that only brought me pain. I've been my own worst critic for most of my life, turning every small mistake into a reason to hide. Every setback felt permanent, every loss felt huge, like one bad day somehow determined what I'd do. But lately I've been thinking maybe that's a lie. Maybe failure isn't proof that I shouldn't try. Maybe all these scars don't mean that I am broken. Maybe all this pain isn't the last word spoken. Because I'm still here after everything I faced, still breathing after every battle I embraced, still standing even when I wanted to quit. And maybe that's proof that I got more fight in me than this. Get up. Even when it's hard to stand, even when life doesn't go according to plan, get up. Even when the road feels long, even when you don't feel strong, keep moving, get up. One more step, one more day, one more reason not to walk away, get up. You didn't come this far just to stay where you are. I know what it's like feeling stuck in your own head, feeling like your best days are already dead, feeling like the world keeps spinning while you're standing still, wondering if you'll ever find the strength and the will. But healing isn't something that happens overnight. It's 1,000 small decisions to continue the fight. It's getting out of bed when you don't want to move. It's proving to yourself you've still got something to prove. And no, I don't have all the answers figured out. I still have fears, I still have moments full of doubt. But the difference now is I don't let them decide whether I keep moving forward or I stop and hide. Because every single sunrise is another chance, another opportunity to change the circumstance. And maybe I won't win every battle that I face, but I'm done letting fear keep me in the same place. Get up. Even when it's hard to stand, even when life doesn't go according to plan. Get up. Even when the road feels long, even when you don't feel strong, keep moving. Get up. One more step, one more day, one more reason not to walk away. Get up. You didn't come this far just to stay where you are. You've survived every bad day before this one, every heartbreak, every setback, every loss. You're still here, so get up. Not because it's easy, not because you're fearless, because you're stronger than you think. Now get up.
Oh, DJ Calvin.
I'm lost in a haze, can't tell what's real anymore, can't tell if I'm healing or just hiding from the storm. I'm lost in a haze, everything feels far away, like I'm watching life happen from 1,000 miles away. I keep reaching for clarity, but it fades away, and I'm still lost in a haze. Some days I wake up and I don't know what I feel. Everything around me looks fake but somehow real, like I'm walking through a dream that I can't fully understand, trying to hold on to something while it slips right through my hands. My thoughts move fast but my body moves slow, too many directions and nowhere to go. One minute I'm hopeful, next minute I'm lost, trying to keep track of what it all this chaos caused. I got questions with no answers filling up my mind, searching every corner but there's nothing left to find, and every road ahead seems covered up in fog, like somebody hit pause while I was trying to move on. I keep telling myself things will eventually clear, like it's hard to trust tomorrow when today is still here. And honestly, I'm exhausted from pretending that I'm fine when half the time I can't even organize my mind. I'm lost in a haze, can't tell what's real anymore, can't tell if I'm healing or just hiding from the storm. I'm lost in a haze, everything feels far away, like I'm watching life happen from 1,000 miles away. I keep reaching for clarity, but it fades away, and I'm still lost in a haze. The weird thing is I'm trying harder than before, but progress feels invisible when you're keeping score. Every step I take is followed by another doubt. Every time I think I'm free, another fear comes out. And maybe that's what healing looks like underneath, not a straight line to peace, but learning how to breathe. I spent so long fighting battles nobody could see that I forgot what Life was like before anxiety, before overthinking every single thing I say, before my mind turned ordinary moments into gray. I wanna find the version of me that isn't scared, the one who doesn't carry every burden everywhere, the one who wakes up ready for whatever comes his way. But today, I'm still searching.
DJ Calvin, holy.
I'm lost in a haze. Can't tell what's real anymore. Can't tell if I'm healing or just hiding from the storm. I'm lost in a haze. Everything feels far away, like I'm watching life happen from 1,000 miles away. I keep reaching for clarity, but it fades away, and I'm still lost in a haze.
Sleepless Beats.
My brain won't slow down, it's running laps again. Got 100 conversations happening in my head. One thought says I'm okay, another says I'm not. One says keep moving forward, one says stop. Every memory's a puzzle piece that doesn't fit. Every answer creates another question to sit with. I try to focus, but my attention starts to drift. Then I'm thinking about mistakes I wish I could have fixed. It's like static on a radio I can't turn off, like trying to read a book while the pages fall apart. I keep reaching for a clear thought, but it slips away, and suddenly it's 3 in the morning again. I'm overthinking things that happened years ago, creating problems that probably don't even exist, arguing with people who aren't even in the room, fighting imaginary battles I can never win. Fractured thoughts, pieces scattered everywhere, trying to make sense of them, but they're floating through the air. Fractured thoughts, nothing stays in place. Every time I find clarity, it disappears without a trace. Too loud to ignore, too broken to organize. I'm trapped inside fractured thoughts. One minute I'm planning out the rest of my life. The next minute I'm wondering if I'm doing anything right. One minute I'm hopeful, next minute I'm afraid. It's like my mind can't decide which reality to take. I got unfinished ideas stacked on top of regrets. Questions without answers and goals I haven't met. Every little worry somehow multiplies by 10. Then circles back around and starts all over again.
Sleepless Beats.
I wish I could explain what it feels like inside, how exhausting it gets trying to keep up with my mind, how every quiet moment somehow turns into a storm, how every small concern takes a different form, and maybe nobody notices because I hide it well. Maybe they only see the outside and can't tell that some days my thoughts feel heavier than stone, and I feel completely lost inside my own home. Fractured thoughts, pieces scattered everywhere, trying to make sense of them, but they're floating through the air. Fractured thoughts, nothing stays in place. Every time I find clarity, it disappears without a trace. Too loud to ignore, too broken to organize. I'm trapped inside fractured thoughts. Slow down, please just slow down. One thought at a time, one breath at a time, because I can't hear myself anymore all over this noise. 100 voices, 1,000 worries, no silence, just fractured thoughts. I can feel the pressure building underneath my skin, like a storm trapped inside me trying to break out again. Every thought's a spark, every memory's a flame, and somehow all these years later they still burn the same. I try to stay calm but the walls are closing in, fighting battles every day that nobody else has seen, carrying frustration that I never let show until it piles so high I don't know where to go. Some days I feel angry and I don't know why. Some days I feel empty and I can't even cry. Some days I feel everything all at once, like my mind's a battlefield and I'm caught in the dust. I'm tired of pretending I've got everything controlled, when half the time I'm just trying not to lose my hold on the little bit of peace I've managed to create before another wave of doubt crashes through the gate. Fire and smoke burning through my mind again, trying to see clearly but the haze won't let me in. Fire and smoke, everything feels out of control, like I'm standing in the middle of a war inside my soul. The flames keep rising, the smoke won't clear, and I'm still trying to find myself somewhere in here. Every unresolved feeling starts demanding attention. Every old wound returns looking for redemption. Every fear I've ignored comes knocking at the door, and suddenly I'm fighting things I thought I'd settled before. I wish healing was simple, I wish growth came easy. I wish I could flip a switch and make my thoughts believe me, but life don't work that way and neither does the pain. Sometimes you gotta walk through fire before you can dance in the rain. I've survived every breakdown that tried to bury me, every voice that convinced me I wasn't meant to be. Here today, still standing, still drawing breath, still refusing to surrender what's left. Maybe that's courage, maybe that's survival, maybe that's the reason I'm still here despite it all. Fire and smoke burning through my mind again, trying to see clearly but the haze won't let me in. Fire and smoke, everything feels out of control, like I'm standing in the middle of a war inside my soul. The flames keep rising, the smoke won't clear, and I'm still trying to find myself somewhere in here. Maybe the fire isn't here to destroy me, maybe it's here to change me. Maybe the smoke clears someday and maybe I'll finally see the person I'm becoming. The fire still burns, the smoke still lingers, but I'm still here and that's something. For the longest time, the loudest voice inside my head was the one reminding me of every mistake and said, every failure, every heartbreak, every scar I couldn't hide, every reason I convinced myself to stay behind. It told me I wasn't enough, told me I'd never belong, told me every good thing in my life would eventually be gone, and I believed it for way too long. I let the voice become the narrator of my story until one day another voice appeared quietly before me, not shouting, not demanding, just barely loud enough to hear. Whispers of worth, breaking through the noise, a quiet little reminder that I still have a choice. Whispers of worth, telling me I'm more than every bad day I've survived before. Maybe I'm not broken, maybe I'm still healing. Maybe there's more to me than what I've been feeling. The voice doesn't promise everything will be okay. It doesn't tell me all my pain will disappear today. It just reminds me I've survived things I thought would end me, and somehow I'm still here standing on my feet. It reminds me of the people who stayed, the dreams I haven't given up on yet, the moments I made it through that I sometimes forget. It reminds me my mistakes don't define me, my worst days don't decide my worth, and maybe my value is never tied to how much I hurt. That's a hard thing to believe after years of self-doubt, and every day that voice gets stronger and the darkness gets quieter. Whispers of worth, breaking through the noise, a quiet little reminder that I still have a choice. Whispers of worth, telling me I'm more than every bad day I've survived before. Maybe I'm not broken, maybe I'm still healing. Maybe there's more to me than what I've been feeling. Maybe I deserve kindness too, maybe I deserve some grace. Maybe I don't have to spend my life at war with my own reflection. Maybe healing starts right here. The whispers are so quiet before the first time I'm listening. Everybody knows the version of me, I let them see. The one who cracks a joke and keeps the conversation easy. The one who says he's good whenever somebody asks. The one who's gotten really good at wearing masks. Nobody sees the moments when the room goes quiet, when all the thoughts I buried start another riot, when every distraction fades and it's only me, and the things I spend all day pretending not to see. Because it's easier to smile than explain what's wrong, easier to say I'm fine and keep moving along, easier to carry everything by myself than admit I need help from somebody else. So I keep the door shut, keep the struggles out of sight, and fight battles in private every single night. Behind closed doors, there's a different side of me, a version most people never get to see. Behind closed doors, the smiles start to fade and all the things I hide come out of their place. The fears, the doubts, the scars I can't erase. Behind closed doors, I don't have to pretend. It's strange how loneliness can exist in a crowded room. How you can be surrounded by people and still feel doomed. How you can hear 100 voices every day and still feel like nobody knows what to say. I spent years protecting everyone from my pain, trying not to be a burden, trying to stay contained, acting like I'm strong enough to handle everything, even when my mind feels like it's hanging by a string. But the truth is nobody's meant to carry life alone. Nobody's meant to build a home entirely from stone. And maybe vulnerability isn't weakness after all. Maybe it's the courage to let the walls fall. Maybe the strongest thing I've ever done is admitting there were days I wanted to run. Days I didn't know how I'd make it through, but somehow I always do. Behind closed doors, there's a different side of me, a version most people never get to see. Behind closed doors, the smile starts to fade and all the things I had come out of their place. The fears, the doubts, the scars I can't erase. Behind closed doors, I don't have to pretend. Maybe if people saw the whole picture, they'd understand. Maybe they're fighting battles too. Maybe we're all hiding something behind closed doors.
Like snore.
Silence, no noise, no chaos, no voices in my head. Silence, just an empty room and thoughts I haven't said. Silence, it's not peace, it's not pain, it's somewhere in between. Silence, like standing in the middle of a forgotten dream. I used to be afraid of silence, now I think I'm becoming it. No more arguing with my thoughts, no more trying to make sense of it. No more searching for the perfect words, no more trying to explain. I'm tired of carrying conversations that only happen in my brain. Tired of asking questions that nobody can answer. Tired of looking for a meaning in every little disaster. Some days I don't feel sad, some days I don't feel happy, some days I don't feel much at all.
Like snore.
Silence, no noise, no chaos, no voices in my head. Silence, just an empty room and thoughts I haven't said. Silence, it's not peace, it's not pain, it's somewhere in between. Silence, like standing in the middle of a forgotten dream. People think the hardest part is feeling everything, but sometimes the hardest part is feeling nothing. Watching the world move around you without knowing how to join in. Watching people celebrate while you're just existing. The highs don't feel as high, the lows don't feel as low. Everything just feels distant, like watching through a window. I still wake up, I still go through the motions. I still smile when I'm supposed to, but something feels missing. Like a song with no music, like a story missing pages. Like I've drifted too far away from who I used to be. Silence, no noise, no chaos, no voices in my head. Silence, like just an empty room and thoughts I haven't said. Silence, it's not peace, it's not pain, it's somewhere in between. Silence, like a standing in the middle of a forgotten dream. Maybe this is healing, maybe this is burnout, maybe this is what happens when you've carried too much for too long. Maybe my mind is just resting, maybe it doesn't have the energy to scream anymore. No questions, no answers, no anger, no tears, just silence. There were nights I didn't think I'd make it this far. Nights I stared at the ceiling counting every scar. Nights where tomorrow felt a million miles away, and getting through the present felt impossible some days. I've carried fear like luggage, I've carried doubt like chains. I've carried memories that still know how to bring pain. I've walked through storms that felt like they would never end, and somehow I kept finding reasons to begin again. I wish I could say the road got easier with time, but healing isn't something you can force overnight. Some wounds heal slowly, some lessons take years, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing after all the battles that I fought, after all the nights I thought I'd lost, after all the moments I was ready to give in. I'm still breathing. Maybe that's enough today, maybe I don't need another thing to say, because every breath is proof that I survived and I'm still breathing. I used to measure progress by how good it felt. Now I measure progress by the cards I've dealt. And how I keep moving even when the road gets steep. How I keep fighting even when I'd rather sleep. I've learned survival doesn't always look brave. Sometimes it's simply making it through another day. Sometimes it's answering a text. Sometimes it's getting out of bed. Sometimes it's believing tomorrow exists even when today feels heavy. I spent years searching for a reason to stay. Now I think the reason might be finding my own way. Not because life suddenly became easy to face, but because I deserve to take up space. I'm still breathing after all the battles that I fought, after all the nights I thought I'd lost, after all the moments I was ready to give in. I'm still breathing. Maybe that's enough today. Maybe I don't need another thing to say, because every breath is proof that I survived and I'm still breathing. The scars are still there, the memories are still, the pain isn't gone, but neither am I, and that's what matters. Maybe tomorrow will be better, maybe it won't, but I'll be here to find out, because I'm still breathing. I've got 1,000 thoughts I've never said out loud, 1,000 moments when I disappeared into the crowd, 1,000 times I wanted someone to understand, but couldn't find the words or the courage to take a stand. So I kept it all inside, locked away behind my eyes, letting silence do the talking while the truth stayed disguised. And after a while you start believing nobody wants to know. You start believing your feelings are something to outgrow. You start convincing yourself your voice doesn't belong, until staying quiet feels easier than being wrong. I spent years shrinking myself, trying not to take up space, trying not to be a burden, trying not to get in the way. Unheard, like a message lost at sea, like a voice echoing back with nobody listening to me. Unheard, like a story never told, like a hand reaching out but never finding something to hold. I had so much to say, but somewhere along the way I became unheard. Maybe part of the problem was me all along. Maybe I got so used to hiding that I forgot how to be honest. Maybe I waited for somebody to ask the right questions instead of speaking up and offering my own confession. Because the truth is, people can't hear words that never leave your mouth, and they can't understand battles you never talk about, and they can't read every thought hidden in your head, no matter how much you wish they could. Still, there were moments I needed someone and didn't know how to ask. Moments I was drowning while pretending I could last. Moments where I wanted somebody to notice I wasn't okay without me having to explain it. Unheard, like a message lost at sea, like a voice echoing back with nobody listening to me. Unheard, like a story never told, like a hand reaching out but never finding something to hold. I had so much to say, but somewhere along the way I became unheard. Maybe my voice matters, maybe it always did. Maybe being unheard isn't the same as being worthless. Maybe there are people listening that I never noticed before. Maybe it's time to stop staying silent. For so long, I thought nobody could hear me. Maybe I just needed to speak. Maybe I'm not as unheard as I thought.
Sleepless Beats.
For so long I convinced myself I could handle it alone. Built walls around my pain and called that place a home. Told everybody I was fine and I had it under control, while quietly losing pieces of myself I couldn't hold. I got good at changing subjects, good at wearing a smile, good at making sure nobody worried, even when I hadn't been okay in a while. Because asking for help felt like weakness, at least that's what I believed. So I carried everything myself until I could barely breathe. And that the crazy thing is, I wasn't looking for attention, I wasn't looking for sympathy, I was looking for understanding. This is a cry for help, not a cry for pity, not a cry for fame. Just somebody please listen, this is a cry for help. I've been carrying too much for way too long, trying to stay strong when I should have been honest. This is a cry for help. I know there are people fighting battles every day, people carrying burdens they don't know how to explain, people smiling in public while playing a part inside, people convincing themselves they have nowhere left to hide. Maybe you're one of them, maybe you're listening right now, maybe you've asked yourself the same questions I've been asking this whole album. Does anyone care? Is anyone listening? Am I enough? Will things get better? And I don't have all the answers, but I know this: you don't have to carry it alone because nobody was meant to. This is a cry for help, not a cry for pity, not a cry for fame. Just somebody please listen. This is a cry for help. I've been carrying too much for way too long, trying to stay strong when I should have been honest. This is a cry for help. Maybe strength isn't staying silent, maybe strength is speaking up, maybe strength is admitting you're hurting, maybe strength is reaching out, maybe strength is saying I can't do this alone anymore. If you're hurting, talk to somebody. If you're struggling, reach out. If you're feeling lost, don't disappear into the silence, because somebody cares, somebody is listening. And if this album means anything, I hope it's proof that you're not alone.